Today we're going to give a tutorial about making a pleated skirt. This will be for my Umbreon costume.
Pleated skirt, like Sarah has shown you, you'll need some interfacing. Of course, you'll need your fabric. This is going to be for the lower trim, and of course we're making a black skirt because this is going to be for a shiny Umbreon. Next, you'll need scissors. I like using one of these, and I can't remember the name of it, but it usually cuts in one swipe when we're cutting the fabric. You will need 1/4 inch braided elastic, push pins, or pins. You'll need pins to hold it together. A zipper, 7 inches, because you want it small, you don't want something like overly long. And of course, blue and black thread, because that's what color we're going for. And I think that's all material that I'll need. And of course, our sewing machine. We're going to need that. And I know it's on a table because I don't have a sewing table. It's kind of ghetto. And also, I like to use, when I'm cutting, a nice cutting board. I have this nice big old one royalty cutting mat. Okay, that's a royalty cutter earlier that I was showing you that I told you I didn't know. This is the mat for it, and this thing is huge. I don't know how to show it to you being huge, but it is very, very big. Royalty cutting board, and that's what I will cut the fabric out of. And of course, which I already said, you will need your patterns if you need one. I've got them all cut out already, and some nice directions. And I'm going to do some cutting here to kind of show you how to cut your fabric and everything. And I want to tell you right now that I am a novice at this. I'm not very good at sewing. So I just want to show you what I know of how to do this. My puppies. I want to show you what I know about sewing. And like I said, I'm a novice of this, and I don't sew very well. And so you're going to learn how I do it. Not saying it's the right way. And I may not even use a zipper. I might just make an elastic band so she can just slide it up in case she loses or gains weight. It won't be too big or too small for her. She can just have that elastic waist, and it'll still fit. So it's not like a fitted waist. I've been thinking about changing that instead of a zipper in the back. That'd be one thing I can change. But other than that, the next thing I'll be doing is cutting. Okay, I got all my utensils down there kind of. But one thing I forgot, we'll need an iron. It's good to iron out your stuff before you try to cut it. It gets all the wrinkles out, and it helps with cutting. So I'll do that right quick, and then we'll start in the cutting. I did the ironing, and I have it ironed out, and I put my interfacing on so I could cut it all out at the same time. Instead of putting it on the inside, I just put it on the outside. I'm going to add these and pin these on there before I cut. So I will get my glitter pins, as you can tell, and I'll show you how to do that. Everything pinned down, and I'm ready to cut. And all I do is basically I cut around these parts. And you want to read on these because they tell you how many cut. This one says cut 4. This one says, let's see, cut 2 on fold the fabric. And this one says cut 3 right side up. So this is what I'm doing. I'm about to cut. I have it all folded together, so there's like going to be 4 for each. I do extras on purpose. My puppy's going to help.
So when you get back, I'll have the pieces cut.
Pieces cut out for the pleated skirt for the Umbreon costume. And I'll be getting to sew it soon. Next you'll be seeing me sew. So if you have any questions about how to get it this far, just ask me. This is kind of up close. Make sure you make one of those because you'll have to be kneading it to another piece. This is what it looks like. This one's tore, so I had to flatten it. But we are using Simplicity 3689. Next to sewing. By the way, I don't know if I told you, but I had to reposition my patterns where they are on the center fold, because if you don't do that, you'll have to do more sewing, which is not good. Plus, if you do it on the center fold, it just basically, when it's closed, it'll just open up and it's already there. So this one calls for to cut 2 out on the center fold, and this one says cut 4 of the fabric on the center fold, basically. So that's good. Now we'll be following these directions on how to sew. I'm going to use this one, step 1, to step 2, and step 3. I'm going to cut out my blue right quick because that's going to go as my border or my hemline at the bottom for the Umbreon. And I've already added the black thread up here to sew with, as well as the black down at below. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, I got the blue part cut out for the border, bottom seam. Yes, this kind of fabric frays really bad, so you got to be really careful. It's like the kind of silky stuff. This is kind of the outside, but this is the inside for the silky blue. Yes, fun to sew, fun. Lots of frays. I'm going to have to cut those off before I begin sewing. And here's her black. Just regular cotton. That's what we got. Alright, and I'm going to start sewing the top of the skirt first. And then after I try to sew the top around, I'm going to start doing the little pleats there, which you just basically pleat it at the top. What I'm doing here is ironing this flat. And like so. I've already done these pieces right here, as you can tell. And also, if you look here, I don't know if you can see it, I have it folded under. So I'm going to put my piece of cloth in between here. And when I do that, I'm going to sew it across, and the fabric will be in here when I sew across it. But there, I've already sewn 2 pieces together. I'm working on my third, and then once I'm done, I will sew it on here. This is my fabric. Like I said, I'm just going to go like in between, like this, right here, and then I'll start making my pleats. Also, right now, I have my 3 pieces that it calls for sewn together, and it's like really long. So here's where it begins, and you keep going, and that's where it ends. That's why we have to have such a long blue to go for the border. And next time I'll have the border on, and I'll show you some of the pleats.